Hi, my name is Cornelia. I'm a writer, producer, TV host. So writing is something that I frequently do when I just have thoughts. Producing is something that I plan to do. And inspiration is something that definitely comes in waves because I have moments of low ambition where I'm just not doing anything. So I think the balance naturally creates itself and falls into place because writing, producing, and being a host kind of all falls into places. Well, I studied film, cultural, and media studies, so I've always had an interest in showbiz. Deciding to host was something that pretty much most people around me kind of kept on saying. And when I started writing and sort of putting my stories out on Instagram and people got so involved, I actually had to moderate fights on Instagram because people would comment and give their opinions, and I realized that I was actually creating and moderating discussion. So it made sense that I took it to a live show because the characters on Instagram were just too limiting to have the vast discussions that needed to be had. So I quit my job because I just could not do the 9 to 5. The subject matter did not inspire, and I was like, I just had this itch. And it was right before I was turning 30, and I said, I don't think I can come to this office one more day. So I told my boss I wanted to quit. She wanted me to stay on. She ended up keeping me on the same salary. And I went to New York and I was just chilling. I wasn't paying rent. I wasn't doing anything. I was just living my life, my best life, as they say. And then I got bored, and my friend had been trying to convince me to join Instagram. And I was like, well, I don't want to post pictures of myself. Like, that's just too much. So I said, okay, I'll mix it up with inviting people to come to my page every Tuesday to read something, because I read a lot of articles and random stuff. So I just challenged people to come to my page and that I was going to share a story. The first story I shared was about a woman who didn't see sex the way her husband saw sex. She didn't like pillow talk. She didn't like all the emotion. And it was just interesting that a woman felt that way and not the guy. So people were like kind of looking forward to the next week, and I didn't find anything. I said, you told people to, and I take myself quite seriously with things, so I thought, you told people to come to your page, what are they going to find? So I started writing the stories and making up scenarios that had happened to me, had happened to some of my friends, and kind of just tweaking it all so it really wasn't anybody's gist, when my visions changed. Initially, it was literally to get it off Instagram and make it a platform where we could actually just share and engage. I think the mission has gone beyond that to now creating a bigger platform for not just Nigerian women, African women as a whole, to engage and speak to each other. So the first season I shot in Nigeria, and the second season was shot in Ghana, which should be coming out this year. And it was a very different theme. It was probably one of the most difficult decisions I've made. So the plan is to go to other African countries because the show now sits, it went from YouTube to sitting on Fox Life Africa, which is across sub-Saharan Africa, and also to take it to diaspora networks in the UK and in the US. So the point is to have representation and to make sure that women are even speaking. I just don't think the voice of the Black woman is something that people really care to listen to, and I think it's important that we are represented in every sort of industry. Well, for the job I have, it's important, but I've never been someone who really had like a beauty routine, but the older I get, the more I realize, girl, you might need to do something, because my skin definitely isn't as supple as it used to be when I was younger. So I'm not one of those beauty blogger girls. Like my beauty routine is actually quite basic. I wash my face with almond chocolate flax soap, which is a Ghanaian concoction, and I moisturize with anything. I'm really not into like scrubs, although I do scrubs when I'm in Nigeria. In the wintertime, I tend to do a little more facial mask. But again, I think for me, it's really more from within of just trying to make it. If food is too oily, I'm just not going to eat it. The only thing I had was, okay, so I have strawberry skin. I don't know if you know what that is, but it's like ingrowing hairs. So like ingrowing hairs are pretty much like dry skin that kind of gets stuck and can't come out. So I have dry skin, and so I've had strawberry skin. I don't know, some people call it chicken skin, but I like strawberry skin. Somebody has recently just told me to, she said I should use some kind of acid. Oh yes, I actually keep getting this, how come you're so confident in front of the camera? And I'm like, why wouldn't I be? I mean, that's what I should be, right? So I guess maybe there are plus size people that don't feel that there's enough inclusion in the media, which I think is a fact. However, I just never really thought about it. I've always been comfortable in my skin. And even at my biggest, when I have gained weight to a point where I personally am not comfortable, I try and love myself in different phases. I don't think I can tell you what I thought about. It's just not PC for the camera. But one, I was happy because I kind of did all my editing yesterday. So the first thing I was happy about was that I didn't really have much to do on a Friday. Yeah. Listen, Michelle Obama, I love you, but I cannot get through the first chapter of that book. So I can't remember what the book before that was, but I think it was Going Home. My life, my life, my life, my life, my life. No, it'd actually be Orphans. I think that one of my favorite quotes is, the hand that we are dealt shouldn't affect the outcome of our lives. And I'm an orphan. My mom died when I was 14 and my dad died when I was 4. So I think that I would want to highlight faces of orphans who are doing great at different ages and stages in their life, and have the proceeds for that documentary fund the support of an orphanage. Whoa, I haven't thought about that, but it would have to be deep. A brave heart is a good word. I like a brave heart. A lot of people won't believe in you. You will doubt yourself. You'll doubt your ideas many a time. Try not to make it about the money, and try to be patient with the journey, and find other things and other supporting things you can do to sustain and live. Because if you are deciding whether or not you want to quit your 9 to 5, at some point you might have to, because you have to give time to the dream and believe in the dream, and try and share the dream as much of it as you can, because sometimes when you don't have a blueprint, it's very difficult to articulate. One of the first things that I did that I would say was a bold move was when I wanted to do the Ghana edit, the season 2 of Chit Chat Live in Ghana. I bought all my cruise tickets. So I flew my crew in from Nigeria, and the first thing I did was I was like, okay, I'm just going to buy everybody's ticket. That somehow was brought together by the universe. So try not to focus on how you think you have it in your head, and just kind of start. and let the universe direct you. Try not to give up as well. Beauty to me is loving the skin you're in, whichever way, whatever skin you have. And of course, just generally being a great person and try to work on being better always helps to light up your looks. Let me maybe not. Can I say somebody not African that just generally? I like that Tracy is natural with her hair. I like that Tracy doesn't do too much with the makeup. So I think if I wanted to be, a celebrity looks-wise, it's not necessarily about how fine is she or the Kim Kardashian kind of beauty for me. I think she's able to work with her natural features and enhance them. Facially, I also like what Kerry Washington does with her looks. She doesn't do too much, but her skin's nice, her skin glows. Hi, my name is Cornelia O'Dwyer, and you're watching Kreme Cast.